Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at challenge number 53. Challenge, of course, being the magazine of science fiction gaming. For $3.50 back in 81, we got naval rules for Twilight 2000, Mega Traveler Wet Navy, and Shadowrun Maiden Run. I think this is a Shadowrun cover. Dragon attacking, looks like some kind of helicopter gunship. I hope that the dragon doesn't go through the rotor. That could be bad. And this, of course, is brought us by Game Designers Workshop. We open it up, and what do we see inside the game for a new generation? Cosmic Encounter. You've probably already heard of it. Coming from Mayfair Games out of Niles, Illinois. Don't remember Cosmic Encounter. Don't know if I ever cosmically encountered it. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, the role-playing game. Brought to us by GDW out of Bloomington, Illinois. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs were pretty popular late 80s, early 90s. Challenge. The table of contents. Gotta like it right there. This was out in 91. And our model Hayslick poses for here an artist Jeff Lobenstein's Still Life with Dragon, which originally appeared in the cover of the Shadowrun anthology Into the Shadows. So there you go. Going on to a game that's coming in February. This would have been February of 1992 from Digest Group Publications. AI, role-playing adventure in a techno-fantastic age. This, to my knowledge, never came out. They were really excited about it. This was when Digest Group Publications was going to kind of break out and go their own way after Mega Traveler had run its course. Mega Traveler was still very much here, but it was starting to wind down a little bit, and GDW was starting to take back some of the ownership of it. It's a weird time. So we got a challenge opinion from the editor. Air Power, the Journal of... It's not from the editor, it's just someone who sent in an opinion, sorry. Air Power, the Journal of Air Combat Gaming. Works for GDW's Air Superiority Airstrike. That's what the emphasis is, out of LaGrange, Georgia. Naval rules for Twilight 2000, an unofficial variant. That's kind of interesting. It's one thing I never did in Gamma World, for instance, is I never did anything at sea. Up on the moon, yes, but never at sea. So, continuing out there, for our Twilight 2000 article, we have The Scroll, a quarterly publication dedicated to the world of role-playing gaming. $10 a year from Sage Lore Productions out of Portland, Oregon. Never saw that one. Continuing out our article on the Navy in Twilight 2000, we get an ad for subscribe today to 2300 Resource, quarterly journal for the 2300 AD Gamer. And this was Resource Publications out of Santa Barbara, California. Played a little 2300. I don't remember ever seeing this magazine. New equipment, still for Twilight 2000. We get a list of conventions that are coming up in 1991. So hurry, get in your car, you could get there. And the next empire claims to be the future of play-by-mail gaming from Cyborg Games. MasterCard and Visa accepted. I'm old enough to remember when MasterCard was MasterCharge. And this is Cyborg Games out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ned Neutron, Limos and Lizards. There you go, little comic, little strip there. Illuminati, the play-by-mail game of conspiracy and intrigue from Flying Buffalo in Scottsdale, Arizona. Registered trademark of Steve Jackson Games. Wet Navy, the ship designs. This is for Mega Traveler. So, Wet Navy does not play a huge part in Traveler, at least never has at my table, but it does have its place. You could certainly do adventures based on Wet Navy that could be really intriguing. So, I do remember reading this, and I did a little something with a waterborne adventure shortly after this article was out. But I don't remember ever doing anything since. A long article. I like that. And then completion of the design sequence for your Wet Navy in next issue of a Challenge. The second segment will include weapons, sensors, controls, and design evaluation rules. There you go. The Nurlan Revolt, and this is for Space 1889. So you go to Mars and you find these guys that you need to put down the revolt from. Okay. And Then we have an ad for Vortex. The most powerful force in the universe is the Vortex. Nothing can escape its pull, not light, not you. No genre escapes our pull. This is a magazine that was from Vortex Publishing out of Emeryville, California. Challenge briefs, some stuff that's coming up. Let's see, Dark Tech Equipment, new from ICE, Mayfair Games, Hard Times, move forward to the post-rebellion era period of Mega Traveler. Hard Times is a really good book. It's a little sad because the Third Imperium is in ruins at this point, and Hard Times gives you an idea of how tough it is to make a living there. West End Games coming out with Torg, Death Star Companion for Star Wars, Twilight Nightmares, Battle of the Bulge, Alternative Armies, The Battle of Basra. And then tomorrow, Heroes of Yesterday and Tomorrow, fantasy and science fiction character illustrations from Starlance Publishing, Mesa, Washington, and Challenge, a magazine of science fiction gaming, now 12 times a year from Game Designers Workshop in Bloomington, Illinois. We have the technology. We can rebuild you. Cyberspace from Iron Crown Enterprises. I do remember reading that. A Grizzly Harvest. Those look like panthers, not grizzlies. And this is for... Not sure which game this is for. It's continued on page 35. So we get an ad here from Mad Max. A really post-Mega Whoops adventure for Paranoia. Available at Walden Books, B. Dalton, and other fine hobby stores. West End Games. Paranoia still lives. It's being put out by Mongoose these days. Okay, we continue on. This is the... something about cats. What is the game, though? I'm not sure what the game is. Mystery of the Eerie Phantom Cats. The Donner Farm. The cats themselves. I don't know what game it's for. Dark Conspiracy, Call of Cthulhu, something like that. World War III eliminated the weak. Now the real fight begins. Twilight 2000. Paragon Software. I don't ever remember seeing that, but if you know if it came out or not, please let me know. The magazine that covers the complete games industry as never before. Gamesman. It's all you need for role-playing, war games, board games, etc. from Pegasus Publishing. I am not familiar with that one either. So we're ending the long adventure for the game I don't know what it's for. And then we have Paper Mayhem, the informative play-by-mail magazine from Ottawa, Illinois. Paper Mayhem, I'm not familiar with that. I'm going to find out what this is for. Let's see. It's modern. It's got to be like Dark Conspiracy or something. That's really weird that I can't find out what it's for. Oh well. And then we have Isaac Asimov Science Fiction. This year, enter another dimension. 34% off the cover price for Isaac Asimov Science Fiction. And they were out of Red Oak, Iowa. The Strider Incident, and this is for Mega Traveler. Okay, and it's day 114 of 1119 of Traveler. And then we have Mega Traveler. Love Mega Traveler. Maiden Run 4. That's the end of that article. The article here, or the adventure there. And then we have Maiden Run for Shadowrun. Okay, adventure for Shadowrun. Long adventure. GDW, how does that grab you? GDW, out of Bloomington, Illinois, Twilight 2000, Merc 2000, Dark Conspiracy, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, Mega Traveler, Fact Books, War Games, Miniature Rules, Challenge Magazine. They were quite the publishing house back in the day. The Traveler News Service. Again, how we find out how the rebellion is doing. Starts on day 3 of 1122 and ends on day 83 of 1122. Then an adventure for 2300 AD, Wired Society, Information Technology in 2300 AD. Continuing it out, finishing out our adventure here. Share the Adventure, High Colony Science Fiction Role-Playing Gaming. Waterford Publishing House, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Twin Engine Gaming presents Outtime Days and Space Combat. They're out of San Jose, California. I'm not familiar with either one of those games. Star Trek. This, I believe, is when FASA still had it. Can you unmask the murderer in the solitaire real-time logic puzzle? That's kind of interesting. Murder on Space Station K2. Interesting. Enlist now for a new style of adventure. How many times have you played a war game, read our history, and thought, that could be me? This 20th Century Tactical Studies Group out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And we're finishing out our Star Trek article. And there's the answer. And then we have an ad for IHC's, International Hobby Corps, Rocco Mini Tanks. These guys were from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ashes to Ashes for Vampire from White Wolf out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Armor penetration and damage in Cyberpunk. Wearing that body armor, does it really deflect the bullet or does it just punch through? Okay. Continuing out our article for Cyberpunk, new weapons, new body armor. GURPS Time Travel. At last, the complete guide to dimension hopping adventure from Steve Jackson Games. GURPS did some nice stuff. Real good ideas in some of these GURPS books. Mega Traveler from Seeker Games Systems. I have these guys. I have the Lords of Thunder. Don't know if the Consumer Guide ever came out, and I don't know if that came out. Flight of the Tyrannosaur for Renegade Legion. I loved Renegade Legion. FASA was trying to do something other than Battletech. We got Renegade Legion. I got them all for Christmas of '90. Just good times. Check it out. Call or write for your free pilot issue of the following GDW newsletters: Command Post, SITREP, Athos Society, Eternal Soldier, or Mega T News for Mega Traveler. I don't remember those either. Presenting American Gamer, the newest gaming magazine that would like to invite us to join in celebrating our favorite pastimes. American Gamer of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Conquer Fear the Only Way Possible. Experience. Chill, the horror role-playing game from Mayfair Games Inc., Niles, Illinois. Challenge Reviews, Chrome. Telsorian Games, and this is for... And Cyberpunk Data Screen 2.0, 2.0. Okay. GDW product distribution around the world back in the day. Challenge Classifieds. If you're looking for gamers to play in your area or items that are for sale, I read this every month, trying to find people that were nearby who were really into it. And we have an ad for Gulf Crisis, a whole new approach to role-playing. Can you bring peace to the Middle East? And this was from Collector's Item, Oxford, England. Finishing out our classifieds, we have Earth Heart Stones, Enchanted Quartz, Fluorite Earth Heart Stones, that's hard to say, Weeby Crystals out of Donaldson, Iowa. And we have feedback that you can give for this issue, challenge feedback results for issue 51, and next issue, we're going to get some Twilight 2000, some Mega Traveler, 2300 AD, Space 1889, Dark Conspiracy, and more. We have an ad for Dark Conspiracy available now from Game Designers Workshop. This is coming again from Mongoose soon. These guys are in Bloomington, Illinois. Solaris 7, the gaming world, Battletech, the game world. This is absolutely one of my favorite things ever offered from Battletech. I just love Solaris 7. It's a gladiator type world. Your mechs go there, and you battle for fun and profit. People can bet on you. It's really interesting. It's WWE for mechs. Very interesting stuff there. I always liked it. So there you have it. There's challenge 53 for you. This issue had a lot of good stuff in it. I always loved getting my new issue of Challenge. I was very excited when it went monthly. And we only have a few more years of Challenge left at this point. Of course, we didn't know that then. But Challenge went out in 95, I want to say. Yeah, 95, I think. So we've got about 3.5 years, 4 years left. So there you have it. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Tell your friends. Let's keep growing the channel. Also, take a look at the Patreon, see if there's anything you can do to help me out there. But that's all I've got today on page 121. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.